Hey, it's Colin Gray here from thepodcasthost.com, and today we're going to be talking crypto. We're going to be talking how to earn Bitcoin with your podcast through the Value4Value network. And this can apply to a few other things as well, perhaps in future, so well worth getting this set up now, learning how it works now, even though there's a few technical bits to it, there's a few steps, but it's definitely possible. It's not actually that tricky. There's just a few moving parts that you have to set up. But once you do, you'll understand cryptocurrency a little bit more, the way wallets work, the way that it connects together, the way that the Satoshi stream can help you earn money through your podcast, and the way that you can support other podcasts by donating Satoshis to them through the various podcast apps right now that allow that. So let's take a look. Let's see how it works. Let's get the Value4Value network set up so that you can earn Bitcoin through your podcast. All right, first step is to go over to the podcast index. That's podcastindex.org and type in the name of your podcast. So you find it in here. If it's not listed, then you need to get it listed in here. I'll put instructions for that elsewhere. You'll find that in the description below, but we won't cover that in this video. Instead, find it here, click on the name of the podcast, and then go to the lightning bolt. Claim this feed on podcasterwallet.com. That's the next step. You've got to claim this feed on podcasterwallet.com. Now, as it says, your URL is already placed in. So this is the URL of our feed for podcast, for Podcraft. And the main thing here is we need to put in the email address that is in the feed. So this is the one that's in your settings in your podcast hosting company. Okay, so the email address that you put into the settings that is registered for that podcast feed, that's what you need to pop in here, and it'll match that up with the feed. And if you wanted to, you can type in that feed. So if I take that feed, put that in my address bar, and you can see on here that it will be in here somewhere. It's in the details. And that's Chrome showing it in a nice way. But if I do view source, then in here you see the full source, and at the top somewhere you'll find the email. So look, here we go, podcast locked owner, and that's our generic email address that we use for our podcast. These are publicly available, just in case you didn't realize that. So any email address you put in there, it's always publicly available. But that's the one. So that's the one that I would put in to the podcaster wallet. Back over here, click that, do the little, oh, wonderful. All right, I've had fun picking boats. Hopefully that says I'm human. I am human. That is great. Click next. And we see this feed is already claimed. That's because I've gone through this process already. But you will see that as a success message. Hopefully it'll match up. You'll validate it, and then we can move on to the next step. Now, this is what it looks like once you get inside the podcaster wallet. So you'll see your show listed here. And the next stage is to set up what's called a node. Now, you don't really need to know what this means. If you know what a node is, then you might want to create your own custom node. But really, this is just a way for the Bitcoin to find its way to you. This is where they're going to send it, and it's a way to control how it comes to you, how you withdraw it, how you can send Bitcoin to other podcasters as well and send a message, whether you're doing the boost version, where you send a message and some Bitcoin, or whether you subscribe and do it regularly, or any of those methods. Just suffice to say that the node is how the money makes its way from person to person. So there's three options here. You've got Sphinx Chat. Now Sphinx is a bit more, it's probably the most polished looking one. It's a bit more user friendly potentially, but it does cost money. So you have to pay either a one-off fee, which is $2 one-off to set it up, and you get a few different uses in there, but it can work quite well. Or you can go with Voltage, which is, let me see, oops, sorry, I lost that page. Let me open it up for you. Voltage is here, and it is a cost-based one as well. So you have to pay per month to get that working. There is a free one though, so the last one on the list here, satoshis.stream, that is a free version. So we're going to go with that. I say free, the way they make their money is they take a fee. So when you withdrawal fee is 3% for the service and 1% to podcast index. So it's total of 4% fee every time you withdraw money from the service. So relatively small, 4% to pay for the service. So we'll go with Satoshis. Let me show you how to set that up now. Alrighty, back into the wallet. And what we'll do is we'll click the Satoshis one and we'll go to this page. So this is the podcast creators section. So we're going to open Telegram. So Telegram is essentially a messaging service. It's like Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp or any of them, except it's designed to be a bit more secure, a bit more privacy focused. So we click on that, the link, I'll just say that there. So you go in there, install Open Telegram, click that from the Satoshis stream instructions. What we're going to do is we're going to download it. You get it for pretty much any system. So you can get it on Mac, you can get it on mobile, and it's just a messaging service. You can see very much similar to other ones there. So I'm going to download that for Windows because that's the system I'm on right now. Okay, so I have set up Telegram. You can see it right here. That's how it begins. It's just an empty window, new contact. So what I'm going to do is go back to the Satoshi stream instructions. And what I'm going to do, there's a little glitch here. It's a bit annoying. You can't copy it because it's jumping about. Satoshi's stream bot. And I'm going to put that into Telegram. So Satoshi's stream bot. And if you search there, you see the conversation here. So I'm going to click that and click start. And that starts a conversation with the bot. And you see there's some instructions pop up right here too. So first let's go back and set it up with Satoshi Stream on Podcaster Wallet. So this is why we copied this code before. I'll go back to the wallet and add a custom node. So we're going to be using Satoshi Stream, but you have to put in that node code as a custom node. So paste and click OK. And that's it set up with Satoshi Stream now. So you can see that's it set up. That's the one that pops into your feed. All right, let's go back over to Telegram now and we'll start to claim it on Satoshi Stream. Okay, you can see the instructions here. We've entered the node key, that one there, into Podcaster Wallet. That was what we did right over here. And now we're going to do this. We're going to type a message to Satoshi Stream and claim our RSS feed. So I need to pop in my RSS feed right here. Okay, that's the RSS feed for Podcraft. So let's click go and see what happens. All right, almost there. So that went well by the looks of it. Please add below text in one of your recent show notes. Wait some minutes and do the same command check. So this is basically a validation. We want to copy that. Copy selected text, and we're going to pop it into one of our recent show notes. So I can edit this and just put it in just temporarily to claim it. So let me show you how we do that. All right, here we are in my podcast hosting account. So I'm not going to add it to the most recent episode because that's the one that people are looking at. I'm going to put in a recent one. It does say recent, so let's hope this works. Click edit, and I'm going to pop it in the very bottom of my second episode back. So I'm just going to pop it in the bottom of the show notes here, of the description. So save and update. And that means that that code is now in my feed because I've added that to this episode. So I've added that code to this episode. That'll now be in the feed, and that's what Satoshis are going to go and check. It's kind of an ownership thing. It's to check that you do really own that feed. So that's now in that one. So we can go back over to Telegram now, and it says wait a few minutes. So I'm going to wait a few minutes. I'll pause it just now, wait a few minutes, and then I'll try that claim again, and we'll see if it gets verified. All right, if I'm honest, that took more than a few minutes. That took about 15 minutes for my feed to refresh, but I can now see it in the feed. What I did was I kept loading up the feed address. All right, let's try that again. I'm going to paste in. That's the wrong one. Let's do claim and then the URL. That's the one. And let's see what it says now. Woo, feed is verified. Nice. Okay, so we've added the node key using podcast index. If so, you're all set. And looks like we can do list to see earnings. Let's see what that does, just out of interest. Total earnings in the last 99 days. 0 sats, of course, because we haven't started using it yet. Okay, so since it's set up, what's next? How do you actually get people to start sending you support? Well, if you go to the podcast index again, so podcastindex.org, go to apps. And what we're looking for here are listening apps that support value. So here we go, value here. So you can see that PodFriend is one listening app that lets people send you boosts, lets you send donations, all that kind of stuff. Another one, we've got Fountain, we've got PodStation, that's a browser extension as well. Fountain is an iOS and Android one, so that's actually one on mobile. So really, the next stage of this, and I'll make some more videos in the near future as well around how this works in terms of the process, like how people can actually donate. So do check out our channel. Make sure you subscribe and you'll see those new videos popping up. I'll show you how it works on those videos. But just really quickly, the principle from here is that you want to encourage listeners to start using these apps, value apps. So Fountain, one mobile one, you've got browser extensions, you've got Sphinx.chat as well, got various ones in here, Breeze as well, lots of different ones. And over time as well, some of the bigger ones, so like Podcast Addicts there, of course, that's one of the biggest listening apps out there. We hope that they will start to support things like Value4Value as well. So that's it. We're all set up. We can now earn that Bitcoin through our podcast by taking donations through those various listening apps that now support it. And hopefully, like I said in the video, more and more listening apps will support that in future. So I'd love it if you could check out a few things that we do. Obviously, you can find all of our podcast success content, loads of articles on launching, growing, monetizing your show over at thepodcasthost.com. And Alitu, of course, Alitu, ALITU.com is our podcast maker app. That's our tool that makes it super easy to create your podcast. You get a 7-day free trial over there. You can record calls, you can record yourself. It does the audio cleanup, it helps you edit, does the episode building and publishes the show for you. Otherwise, please do subscribe to the channel, check back in, check out our content on a regular basis. Thank you for watching this, and I'll see you on a future one.